Nearly 15% of all new marriages in the US in 2008 were between spouses of different races or ethnicities. That's according to a Pew Research study. Even as the cultural taboos against intermarriage weaken and more people enter cross-cultural unions, questions about acceptance, challenges, and adjustment linger.
The first time Grace Chow Grun's parents met her husband-to-be, Curtis, her Singaporean Chinese family was unsure and had a lot of questions about their 6'4" future son-in-law, who was white.
My family was interesting because when they met him for the first time, my parents started speaking right away in Cantonese to me. Like to ask me, like, who is this guy and what is he, like all of a sudden right away. And then my older sister took him aside in the kitchen and immediately started questioning him.
Today, Grace and Curtis live in Montclair, New Jersey, have been married for 20 years, and share 4 children. Grace says after their initial hesitation, her parents grew to accept Curtis and their marriage.
I mean, they realized that he was a good guy. It helped that he was a Methodist too, because my family is quite religious, so it helped that he was from the same, denomination that we were.
Still, Curtis and Grace admit that marrying someone from a different culture or race comes with its challenges.
I think the biggest challenge for me, I guess, would be, what's the phrase? The filial piety. There's a certain expectation in Chinese culture of not just respect for elders, but even sort of reverence to the point of piety.
As director of the Multicultural Institute in Highland Park, New Jersey, Dr. Monica McGoldrick counsels couples like Curtis and Grace all the time. She says many couples don't even realize how rooted they are in their individual cultures.
If people realized how embedded we all are in the culture we come from and the family we belong to, we might be more thoughtful about getting married and realize that it's an intercultural phenomenon always.
McGoldrick says that factors such as religious differences and how to raise the kids can often result in complications.
Somehow when you're just the two of you, you can think, well, we'll do a little your way, we'll do a little my way, and then you add a kid, and it's like, oh no, this kid has to be raised my way, no question about it.
Grace says that when it comes to important subjects like their kids, Curtis and she have learned to compromise.
One thing that I notice is that the American culture that Curtis comes from is very independent, and not necessarily will you tell your kids how to live their life and what to do, and I find that with my own culture it's like you're always saying, don't do this, that's not a good idea. And so that's been interesting for me, because I want to sort of tell them what to do, but then I also know I have to pull back a little bit.
McGoldrick agrees compromise is important, but she urges couples to do their research before getting into an intercultural marriage.
I think they should spend a lot of time with the in-laws and get to know the other culture very well, because it's going to be theirs forever and ever.
For Grace and Curtis, their marriage has not been without its ups and downs, but they say it has been an enriching journey.
Couples pushing racial boundaries have become commonplace in the US, a trend that is also noticeable in Hollywood and politics. President Obama is the product of a black father from Africa, a white mother from Kansas. Supermodel Heidi Klum, who is white, married still a British singer who is black.